touch, and generally of sight, sound, taste, or even mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. There's a signpost up ahead. Next stop, Jake Steves. Hello, you fellow rubes. Here's Johnny! And today I'm going to review the horror thriller Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. The sequel to the timeless classic The Shining. While it may be a sequel following the same themes and a few characters, it's more so of an addition to The Shining, rather than a sequel. So it is very possible to read Dr. Sleep without reading The Shining to understand it. There are spoilers from the latter and the former, however, so read Dr. Sleep at your own risk. And while I'm on that topic, I'll state that by proceeding you may be exposed to very minimal spoilage. Nothing too detrimental, but just enough to tell why this book was either good or bad. If you were hoping for a great follow-up to The Shining, well, then you're going to be bummed out. Really, the only thing that it picks up from the book is the character Danny Torrance and his shining capabilities. For those who don't know, this is a sort of telekinetic power which primarily allows people with this special capability to speak to each other with their minds. No sound. The Overlook and other characters only appear as cameos. Even then, Danny Torrance steps to the sideline as new characters come in to be developed. The book starts with pages to catch us up on a few things, giving a brief overview of Danny's development from the Overlook all the way to where he is now, a drunk, pathetic adult. It then proceeds with classic Stephen King horror and gore as a violent scene which will make most cringe with pain pursues between a girl and her father. After reading this brilliant portrait of words, I knew that this book would be great. But to my dismay, it slowly fizzled out. And to be honest, I think that was the most exciting part of the book, the intro. There was great character development and a few very good twists at the end, but that was all. There wasn't much action, and the plot too closely resembled some of King's other books, such as The Stand. It just seemed like I've read this book before. Nothing exciting, nothing different, nothing new. The ending, however, was very surprising. It wasn't what I had expected from Stephen King. I won't go into details, but I'll say that it can be taken as a good thing, that it's surprising and not what you expected, or that it was a bad thing because it wasn't what you expected. So you could take it either way. I thought it was good. So, what is this story generally about? I really hate to say because it sort of resembles The Bag of Bones, in more ways than one, and that you don't really know the plot until about halfway through the book. The beginning is all about getting to know the characters. So, because of this unusual case, I'll refrain from revealing the main theme, so that your initial thoughts of characters aren't skewed, which would happen if I revealed it. So that I don't ruin what good is left in the book. This book is very easy to read, and as are most of his books. He doesn't use complex language or atrocious arrangement. His books are very simple and flow very well. King is quite simply a great storyteller. For many years I've been preparing for the time it would come. I've been waiting, watching, and finally King has done it in this book. He, to my much pleasure, used the word Jake in place of the word toilet. You do not know how excited I was. When I was 9 or so, I looked up my name in the huge, compact English Oxford Dictionary with the magnifying glass and learned that the very infrequent uses of the word Jake can mean average, drunkard, and portable toilet, among other things. I have seen the word Jake, as it means average, numerous times, especially in King's works like The Green Mile, but never its meaning for toilet. I've been reading for so long, waiting to find it used, and finally the day has come. And trust me, it was a glorious moment to see my name used as toilet in this book. So, all in all, it was a good book, but not a great book. The plot too closely resembles other books, but the ending was okay. It was new. The characters are well developed and very lovable, which keeps you wanting to read. If it weren't for these characters, then I would simply suggest to not read this book. I do suggest, however, that you read a different King book if you don't already have many under your belt, because this is not his typical work, and you may be disappointed. There are much better things out there by him for you to read, and with that, I will conclude by reading the first few pages or so of the book. I'll go past the prologue and get into the ooey gooey horror opening, titled Rattlesnake. Her name was Andrea Steiner, and she liked movies, but she didn't like men. This wasn't surprising, since her father had raped her for the first time when she was 8. He had gone on raping her for that same number of years. Then she had to put a stop to it, first popping his balls, one after the other, with one of her mother's knitting needles, and then putting the same needle, red and dripping, in her rapist sire's left eye socket. The balls had been easy because he was sleeping, but the pain had been enough to wake him in spite of her special talent. She was a big girl, though, and he was drunk. She had been able to hold him down with her body just long enough to administer the coup de grace. That's all that I will read of this. First chapter, very gory, very awesome, very Stephen King. But if you're looking for that throughout the whole book, you're not going to find it. You're going to find it just on that page, which was disappointing. And with that, I thank you for watching a Bibliophile Productions, as well as an LZ Productions.